I took the 10 most popular sports hydration drinks and ranked them from most effective to total waste of money. The global sports drink market was valued at $24.44 billion last year and is one of the fastest growing sectors in the world right now. With new competitors popping up all over the place, the well-established powerhouses face some never-before-seen opposition. This new attention on the industry has formed lots of skepticism towards many of the claims these companies are making. Will a drink really help me be better in sports, at the gym, in everyday life? The key to these claims is the ingredients found in the beverages themselves. However, nutrition facts can often be extremely confusing with long lists of unpronounceable ingredients. When you combine this with the sneaky marketing tactics used by many companies, consumers are often left standing in the drink aisle very confused. So what exactly would the ideal sports drink consist of? Are some better than others? And most importantly, are there any total scams? Let me explain. In order to accurately rank the industry's most well-known sports drinks, it's important that we first establish the criteria for an ideal hydration beverage. The number one responsibility of a sports drink is to replenish the sweat a person loses while working out. While sweat is made up of about 99% water, the remaining 1% is a rich electrolyte blend that is crucial to the functioning of your body. Throughout an hour of exercise activity, the average person sweats anywhere from 0.5 to 1.5 liters. If you've ever heard anyone mention electrolytes, the vitamins and minerals that make up sweat is exactly what they're referring to. The electrolyte makeup of water is approximately 80% sodium, 18% potassium, 1.3% calcium, and 0.7% magnesium. This means that the average person sweats out around 900 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 15 milligrams of calcium, and 1.3 milligrams of magnesium every hour that they're exercising. It's very important to replenish these electrolytes in order to optimize performance and avoid any deficiencies that may arise from sufficient sweating. While the ideal sports drink would contain around a 4.5 to 1 ratio of sodium to potassium, people should be careful when consuming sodium in large quantities. This is because an overall diet should consist of more potassium than sodium in order to avoid any potential health consequences. The second responsibility of a good sports drink is to provide adequate energy for the athlete consuming it. This is primarily done through sugar, a very quickly digesting carbohydrate. This rapid energy source quickly turns into fuel for an athlete, allowing them to perform at a higher level for longer. While sugar often gets a bad rap in the world today, this is because most people are consuming it with no intention of exercising afterwards. When consumed prior to a workout, sugar is actually an incredible resource for prolonged energy. The ideal amount of sugar to consume before a workout is anywhere between 15 to 30 grams, with a product that contains 2 types of sugar being superior to a drink with just 1. This is because different types of sugar are absorbed through slightly different pathways, making the total digestion time much shorter if there were 2 sugars rather than just 1. So as we go through the different sports drinks on the market, remember these 2 key aspects. Now it's time for the fun part. But before we get into ranking the most popular drinks today, feel free to pause the video now if you want to take a look at the exact rating system I'll be using to scale everything. All nutritional information was standardized to the basic 16-ounce bottle, so this way it'll be a fair playing field for each drink, no matter the size. Alright, now let's go. First, let's discuss vitamin water. Everyone's favorite health drink, vitamin water both tastes good and literally has the word vitamin in its name. That must mean it's an effective sports drink, right? With 21 grams of sugar, vitamin water falls well in the ideal range. And with the combination of both fructose and cane sugar, they get an extra bonus point. This makes their sugar rating a 9 out of 10. However, with sodium, vitamin water majorly disappoints. With a whopping 0 milligrams of sodium, they get a 0 out of 10. Their potassium level is much better, however, with a total of 150 milligrams, giving them an 8 out of 10. However, the sodium continues to weigh them down, with the sodium to potassium ratio being 0 to 150, an obvious 0 out of 10. Vitamin water doesn't contain any magnesium or calcium, missing out on the bonus point. This leaves vitamin water with an average score of 4.25 out of 10, landing them in the mid-tier. So not a scam drink, but definitely not an effective sports hydration beverage. Next, we have Body Armor. Living in the shadows of Gatorade and Powerade for years, Body Armor claims to provide superior hydration, but based on their nutrition facts, I think whoever made that claim may have been a little confused on that day. The one redeeming quality of Body Armor is its sugar. It has 28 grams of cane sugar per 16 ounces, putting it right at the upper range of optimal sugar. For this, it gets a 10 out of 10. This is about where the good things end for Body Armor, however, with their 40 milligrams of sodium earning them a 0 out of 10. Their potassium is poor for the exact opposite reason, with the drink containing over 700 milligrams. This is far too much and earned the drink a 5 out of 10. The sodium to potassium ratio is already evidently poor, being a 1 to 17.5. This is a long way from the ideal 4.5 to 1, earning a 0 out of 10. Body Armor does earn the bonus point with the drink containing 75 milligrams of magnesium. However, it doesn't do much at this point. The drink secured a 4 out of 10, landing it just below vitamin water in the mid-tier. Body Armor's lack of sodium and extreme excess of potassium makes it a poor option for athletes, and the high levels of sugar don't exactly make it a good option for everyday use. Next up, Liquid IV. Everyone's favorite hangover cure is also often marketed as an effective sports drink. But how effective is it really? With 11 grams of dextrose and cane sugar, Liquid IV falls just below the ideal range, but the two types of sugar help bump it up a bit, earning a 6 out of 10. Sodium is a strong point of the drink, with there being 500 milligrams per every 16 ounces. With a person ideally consuming around 900 milligrams per hour of exercise, there are limits to how much salt you can put in a drink and have it still actually taste good. 500 milligrams is fantastic considering this, earning Liquid IV at 10 out of 10. Its potassium isn't far behind either, with a solid 370 milligrams qualifying for an 8 out of 10. However, the large amount of potassium causes the sodium to potassium ratio to be a bit low, only being around a 1.35 to 1, therefore earning a grade of 4 out of 10. No magnesium or calcium bonus point for Liquid IV, however, it wasn't required to score a good number, with Liquid IV securing a rating of 7 out of 10 and earning a spot in our most effective tier. Now for Gatorade's little brother, Powerade. Many people prefer its flavor over the sports drink giant, but how effective is the ingredient makeup? Powerade earns a 7 out of 10 for sugar with a solid 19 grams of fructose. Its sodium isn't terrible either, but only 228 milligrams per 16 ounces won't exactly cut it and gives Powerade a 4 out of 10. They failed to redeem themselves through potassium, only containing 46 milligrams. This doesn't reach the minimum ideal of 100 milligrams, therefore earning the drink another 4 out of 10. However, Powerade nailed the sodium to potassium ratio with a 5 to 1 relationship. This gives them a 9 out of 10 in the category. No magnesium or calcium bonus, so this finalizes at a 6 out of 10 average. Powerade, welcome to the first drink in the good option tier. Another hangover cure that's recently gained traction as a sports drink is Pedialyte. While their big bottles may be intimidating, could the drink provide the right electrolytes and sugar to be useful in exercise? The drink only contains 4 grams of fructose, scoring just a 1 out of 10 on sugar. With 170 milligrams of sodium, Pedialyte lacks again with just a 3 out of 10. The potassium is a bit better, securing a 7 out of 10 with 135 milligrams. However, the sodium is way too close to the potassium, leading to a 1.32 to 1 relationship, therefore just a 4 out of 10. No magnesium or calcium bonus for Pedialyte, giving it the worst score out of any drink so far on the list, with a 3.75 out of 10. Being basically just a much worse version of Liquid IV, Pedialyte is not worth your money, especially if you're looking to use it as a sports drink. Welcome to the last resort tier. Up now is a Gatorade variation that's specifically tailored for high performance, Gatorade Endurance. Gatorade Endurance was created for race day fueling, but how will its nutrients score as an overall sports hydration beverage? They start off strong with 17 grams of fructose and glucose, notching an 8 out of 10 right off the bat. Their sodium earns the same 8 out of 10 score with a whopping 409 milligrams. Gatorade Endurance has a solid 184 milligrams of potassium, giving them yet again another 8 out of 10. The drink finally falters a bit with only a 2.22 to 1 sodium to potassium ratio, however still earning a respectable 6 out of 10. They finish off strong with 7 grams of magnesium, earning an extra bonus point. This all adds up to a very impressive 7.75 out of 10 for Gatorade Endurance, jumping to the top of the leaderboard in the most effective tier. Now that we've looked at Gatorade's best exercise variant, let's break down Powerade Ultra. This version of Powerade promises more premium ingredients than the base version, that's supposedly specifically designed for athletes. The drink doesn't do a great job off the start with a grand total of 0 grams of sugar. We know what rating that gets it. However, they slightly redeem themselves with 304 milligrams of sodium, earning a 6 out of 10. The drink also scores a 6 out of 10 for potassium, having 76 milligrams per 16 ounces. They do finish strong with a near perfect sodium to potassium ratio of 4 to 1, scoring a 9 out of 10 in the category. No magnesium or calcium for Powerade Ultra, but still a fairly respectable overall score of a 5.25 out of 10. Not your best choice, but decent. Good option tier. Now onto the golden child of the sports drink industry, Gatorade. Gatorade has practically perfect sugar levels with 27 grams per 16 ounces. The only reason it doesn't get a 10 out of 10 is because it only has one type of sugar, but still a good start, 9 out of 10. Their sodium is not so hot, with only 216 milligrams, scoring a 4 out of 10. Potassium is slightly better, securing a 5 out of 10 with 64 milligrams. And Gatorade's sodium to potassium ratio brings them right back into the mix with 3.37 milligrams of sodium to every 1 milligram of potassium. This gives the drink an 8 out of 10. No calcium or magnesium bonus point for Gatorade, but that doesn't seem to matter too much, with the drink still getting an overall score of 6.5 out of 10. This leaves it just out of the bottom of the most effective tier and right above Powerade and Powerade Ultra. So now you know, Gatorade is better than Powerade. Our second to last drink on the list is often one recommended by doctors as a good alternative to those who are low on electrolytes. Propel has a more mild taste compared to others on the list and is very popular among older customers. But let's see how it stacks up as a sports drink. 0 grams of sugar may help its case as a water substitute, but not exactly as a sports drink. 0 out of 10. With 217 milligrams of sodium, the drink isn't terrible, but still has a long way to go until optimal levels. They failed to redeem themselves in the potassium department with just 56 milligrams, earning them a 5 out of 10. However, their sodium to potassium ratio is actually quite good, with a 3.8 to 1, earning them a 9 out of 10 in that category. No bonus points for Propel, but an overall score of 4.5 out of 10 puts them right in the middle of the rankings. So if you're thinking of using Propel as a sports drink, I'd stick to something else. Finally, everyone's favorite internet scammer Logan Paul has recently released a drink called Prime. You probably haven't heard of it. I'm just kidding. But anyways, let's see how it stacks up against other well-established sports drinks. Prime uses solely artificial sweeteners, so they score 0 out of 10 in the sugar category. Their 10 milligrams of sodium aren't any better, adding another 0 out of 10 to their sheet. They take the exact opposite approach with potassium, having 700 milligrams in their drinks. With this being over double the recommended amount, I can't give Prime any more than 5 out of 10 in this category. However, they quickly go right back to racking up zeros with a ridiculous sodium to potassium ratio of 70 milligrams of potassium for every 1 milligram of sodium. Prime does have a lot of magnesium with 124 milligrams, earning a bonus point. However, that doesn't help much at all with an overall score of 1.5 out of 10. This puts Prime all the way at the bottom of the rankings in the, you guessed it, waste of money tier. The drink just seems to be built on internet hype and sneaky marketing. Just because they have over 800 milligrams of electrolytes doesn't mean they have the right ones. So there you go. Here's the complete ranking of the most popular sports hydration drinks today. Let me know if there's anything you disagree with, or even if you have any other ideas for future videos, please feel free to leave them down below. Subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.